Hey guys, it's May 7th and I'm gonna give you a quick garden tour. I hope. I just uploaded my last one. Really, it took weeks to do, but it did inspire me to get back out and film another session, I guess you want to call it. I'm just gonna do another quick one. So from April 22nd to today, which is May 7th, and so it's been about 3 weeks, and I wanted to show you sort of what I have going on, how it's progressed just in the 3 weeks. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around. Thank you again for following. My name's Candy. This is 2 Acres in Texas, and I just garden here. We moved here from Oregon in 2019 if you're new. So I did start gardening the year of the pandemic. I did not start because of that, just because we moved to our property, which is the only reason I got started gardening, and it just happened to be the same year as everybody else. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and flip this around and just kind of give you, I'm hoping what I'm hoping is a much faster garden tour. I'm not going to go through the whole property like I did on my last one, but if you are wanting to see more about the property, a little bit kind of like plans, just more information, it's an hour garden tour, so this is going to hopefully be a lot faster. Thanks again for following along. Starting right where I typically will start my garden tours, and this is at the kind of what I considered the front to my garden. I don't know that I call that really the front of my garden anymore. Plans have changed over the years, but anyways, I'm gonna go this way first. I did a lot of pruning on the blackberries last year. I researched how to prune it. This is a thornless blackberry, and as you can see, it is producing. I really want to get some more of these because this is the only one we have at the moment. We did have another one, but had died early on. And there is actually wild blackberries that grow around the property along fence lines, so that's pretty cool. I haven't weeded this area yet, but I did plant some radishes. I probably should pull this one out. It's beyond, this one's probably done. So looks like I've got some ants in here, but there's a couple pretty radishes. So I'm gonna actually harvest those. I'm probably gonna eat them in a salad later. I've been eating a lot of salad lately. So I'm not gonna expend too much time here. It's pretty much the same as my last tour, which is interesting to see though. Like, look, there's some, I don't know what that is. Some kind of, what do you guys think? It looks like it's some kind of, I don't think it's droppings, but I'm going to guess, I don't think the camera's focusing. Oh, there it goes. I'm going to guess it's eggs for some kind of a pest. So, or maybe not a pest, I'm not sure. So if you know what that is, let me know in the comments. I have let my green onions get amazingly huge. I still use them. I might actually start drying some out, but I have one dehydrator, and you know what? It's been going a lot with the kale. So I have a lot of dill. I finally got some more dill to grow. I didn't grow it for the last few years, but I did get it to grow this year. My kale plant is kind of dying, but I think it's mostly because it's been attacked by a lot of bugs, and you can see that the ladybugs have come over to try and help. So I mean, I could try chopping it down and see if it just regrows, but I'm not sure. You can see that there's a lot of pests on it, so I kind of think I might just pull this one, well, there might be more than one, but I think I might just pull it, that way I have space for something else. And down here I did plant these just before. As you can see, I haven't really gone through and weeded this section just yet. This plant's on the outside. This is not a good bed. I need to rethink my strategy for my garden beds. But anyways, these are some kind of a Chinese cabbage, I think it was. And every time I grow it, I never use it, but I might actually try if it gets big. It's been getting eaten up, so I'm gonna walk over here. Again, this bed, nothing's been done in like years. So my beans I planted, or no, peas, sorry, these are green peas. I know it's kind of past the season. I'm really hoping I get some peas, and it looks like they're just now starting to flower. As you can see, I have some flower pods forming, so I'm really hoping I get a good little handful of peas. And then this should be a Brussels sprouts, but I am in Texas, obviously. And it is kind of past the season. I don't know. I just don't think they're gonna last very long. This little broccoli, I think I'm gonna go ahead and harvest this today, because honestly, I don't think it's just gonna flower. The rest of my broccoli plants are flowering, and it's because it's been in the 80s. So there's a really cute little daddy long leg spider. Yeah, probably eating my plants. I don't know. So pretty much that's all I have going is some broccoli in this bed, green peas, lots of green peas. Oh, I did plant this. This is the first year I have been trying to grow ground cherries. So if you have tips for me, let me know. Like, I did taste one yesterday. I don't think it was fully ripe, but I seem to have a lot of pill bugs and like bugs eating these leaves. But I have one there and one on this side. So I'm not really sure how long. I think I need to research it again. Do you let these completely dry out before you eat them? But there's a lot on the plant. Like if you can see, there is a lot growing underneath here. So that's pretty cool. It's a cute little another ladybug. So the ladybugs have come in full force to help me this year, which is really cool. Because I didn't bring them here. I didn't like order them online or anything. They just showed up. Okay, so in this bed, I have my nasturtiums, which I have spaced kind of throughout. As you can see, they're getting bigger. And then I also have a broccoli, and these broccolis sprouted, and that's why I'm saying I'm just going to harvest that other broccoli, because see those, they just went ahead and flowered, and I barely put them in the ground. So honestly, it's just too hot for the broccoli at this point in time. I really need to figure out my timing on when to plant brassicas. So I did plant some. They're not doing super great, but I think they might kick back. It's just they've kind of are shocked to be out in the ground, I think. So these plants are yellow squash, kind of just that like basic yellow that you get at the grocery store. I do have a couple zucchinis. I know I planted one there. I think those two over there are zucchini. This one's, maybe this is the zucchini and that might be squash. Anyways, a mix of zucchini and squash over here. And I just brought this marigold plant out yesterday and put it in. And then down here, I brought out another marigold. And then I have some, these are sunflowers, these right here. So I'm going to see how they do. This area of this bed is it gets super hard in the summer. It's very red clay. And a lot of my beds, it's interesting because if you go that way, it's very sandy. But over here, it's more of a hard clay. So it's very interesting. As you can see, like at the edge of this bed too, the ground on this side closer to this big tree right here is just super hard clay. But then it's just interesting how it really does turn into more of a sandy base. So I have my Boston cucumbers trying to grow enough to pickle this year. So I did plant a bunch here, and I showed you this on the last one. So here's the thing. I thought this might be a different plant. I have no idea what it is anymore. It kind of looks like a marigold in the leaf structure, but there's no flowers. So I have no idea what's going on. I thought it could be tansy. So if you know what this is, I probably should just Google Lens it. It's really cool though, huh? So if you could tell me what this is, let me know. Because I don't know if I should just pull it or what's going on, but it's been just going crazy. So it's my first year growing cosmos, and these right here are cosmos. I think these are the ranunculus. I don't remember. Some kind of flowering bulb. I know I keep saying that. I just don't remember. I want to say ranunculus. Okay, and then more cucumbers and more nasturtiums. I'm trying to just keep the nasturtiums as close to some of these vines, because honestly, I'm just afraid I get so many bad squash bugs every year. It's crazy. And then more cucumbers and another marigold. Well, two marigolds right down here. Oh, and on this side of this one, I don't know because it is getting later in the season, but I planted a little row of those. As you saw on the last one, I had them in, they were kind of like flip-flopped over in a little tray of water from the storm. But these are my celeries, so I did get them out. I drained them, you know, pretty good. I went ahead and just planted them. And so there's a couple more sunflowers. And these are the double Sun King? Trying to remember. They're the double sunflowers. So that's going to be interesting. There's more sunflowers. And then I did get one more cucumber plant that I found over here, but as you can see, I've only weeded this section. I've been coming out and doing a little bit here, a little bit there, so as I needed it, I went ahead and just weeded this section out so I could use it, and I'm going to be finishing up this section as I need it. Over here is my lion's tail. So this is again one of my flower beds, and I don't think I'm gonna grow vegetables in it again right now. I really want flowers as I come up my driveway. So this is gonna be a flower bed, and this is lion's tail, and as you can see, it's starting to bloom. These are so cool. I got them in a box not a box. I got them in a Christmas card seed exchange that I did a couple years back on a Facebook group. It's so cool. So if you see this and you're the one that sent it to me, thank you so much. I've been able to save seeds, and as you can see, I have a bunch growing. Some of my bulbs I planted in here. I know I showed you on the last video again. This one's getting a little taller, and it's probably just a standard lily, I think. Like an Easter lily, maybe? I'm not sure. It's pretty cool. So my dahlias did die, I think, because they have not shown up yet, and I had dahlias planted right here. In the last few years they grew, but they just kept getting smaller and smaller, and I think with all the cold temps they just haven't come back. So if I'm correct, these are more ranunculus, and I have no idea why I left that out here, so I should probably pick that up before it gets blown. So ranunculus are here. Oh, and my trumpet vine, I have this one, and it's doing so well, you guys. So as you can see, it's just keeps adding more and more vines. I'm really hoping we get some pretty flowers this year from it, and the one over there on that trellis as well. And then I do have, let's see, I did plant some zucchinis here. I had some more zucchinis and I didn't really know where to put them. And then also more of those green peas that I put over here. Let's see. Okay, this bed. So my asparagus, again, I have not cut down, but I think I actually might come out and trim through some of it. But it is starting to form seed pods. And I think it's spreading really quite nicely, and I want this whole bed to be taken care of, only because I don't remember ever putting this one in, and here it is way over here. So I think it is actually expanding, which is really cool. So, and then here's another one. So I think what I'm gonna do is just start cutting it down. Oh look, the pollinators. I don't know if you can see that, but there's some bees. Let me see if I can zoom in. Oh, there you go. Oh, that's so cool. So the pollinators are enjoying it too. So I might actually leave it since it seems like they like it. And I have been slowly weeding through these crazy flowers, these plants right here. I keep pulling them out and pulling them out and pulling them out, and it's just easier as they get bigger. So overall, I've just been letting them get a little bit taller, and then once they do, I yank them because I don't want them to produce flowers and then produce the seeds. So yeah, the Mizuna that Baker Creek gave everybody, thousands of, I planted a lot of it. Personally, I don't really like it, but I did eat some in my salad. So I am going to try and consume some of it, okay? So if I can do it, you guys can do it, because I really don't like bitter. I don't like bitter, okay? And then my tomatoes that I did leave in the ground, they are flowering. I think I'm just going to leave them be. And this little pepper plant is trying to produce little peppers. Isn't that cute? So I'm sure it'll get bigger over this season, which is pretty cool. Let's see up here. I'm trying to do it really fast. Yeah, so I'm not sure all what these are because they've never done anything, but they look like these, and these usually turn into like a bright orange lily. It sprouts up. So I think they just never really got the proper nutrients or the proper watering, because I don't have any watering set up on this hill yet. So at some point I will. I did bring these over yesterday. I should probably come back. These are bearded iris plants that I actually have several growing over there, and I accidentally popped those off, and I don't know if they'll live right here, but I keep trying to repot them. What I need to do is in the fall, I need to just dig up the ones I have and then separate them all out. These are the spider lilies that grow pretty wild in Texas, so I did put them over here, and they're gonna be really cool plants when they do come up. And I'm trying to think of the name of that. I grew a bunch of it last year. I don't remember. This is really cool. I think I showed it on my last video, so I'm not going to talk about all of that. You can go look at my last video. My figs are growing. So I have 3 figs. I have one there, one here, and this one's gotten bigger since my last video, as you can see. I also weeded out around this one. I haven't really done too much with those yet. I did a little bit. And then I mowed around it, weeded around it. What I really need to do is put together some kind of like fabric, you know, that blocks the weeds. So I'm going to end up working on that at some point. So this one really took off from my last video, as you can see. I have harvested some of it, but it is... So maybe if anybody knows, some of my leaves, and it could just be because it's hot or because they're fighting off bugs, but I've noticed that if I pick some of this, I don't know if I can do this. Let's try just to grab one. It has like little like hairy things that are pokey, and it's supposed to be romaine lettuce, and I've never experienced that before in the store or anywhere, so I'm just trying to figure out, is that... So this one doesn't really feel that bad, which is interesting. I'm gonna block this. And then I have, again, these are just an experiment, but there's some onion bulbs that I did grow from seed. They are very late. I don't know how they're gonna perform, but they are bulbing, so it's interesting. My rainbow chard is looking really, really good. I have some there, some here. It's so cool. I just love it for the colors, but I don't know if I like it or not. Like, I don't mind it, but I don't love it, if that makes sense. And then these tomatoes, I'm pretty sure my pear-shaped, the little yellow pear-shaped tomatoes, again, because I put them in this bed last year, and I'm pretty sure that they sprouted up. And most of it probably got weeded out because I thought it was a weed, but, oh, there's another one. Oh, that's so cool. So I'm probably going to end up by the end of the year with a bunch of little yellow pear tomatoes. Also, I'm going to take, because we're not eating through all of this very fast, and because it's heating up outside, I'm going to start dehydrating. Now that my kale's on the last section of dehydration, I think I'm going to start pulling this and dehydrating it. Oh, and then these mushrooms grew. It's kind of cool, but I don't know. What do you think? I just left them there, but it's pretty cool. I just left them for the aesthetics, but I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I mean, I can't really do anything with them, right? So what I'm going to do is show you real quick. I do have some tomatoes, little plants that almost died during a hailstorm, and I'm just trying to regrow them. And my Mustang grapes, these died, so I'm not sure if they're gonna live. I think what I need to do is repot this one and this one and this one here, so these 3 anyways, and maybe repot these just to see if I can keep them from dying. And then I did plant potatoes, in these 2 baskets, and I held them up yesterday, but honestly I've never grown potatoes, so that's really just an experiment. So I'm actually going to walk you real quick. I'm actually going to try and do this in one without cutting and editing, because I'm kind of suck at uploading stuff and I just want to get it out for you guys. So I'm just going to zoom over here. This is the last section I'm going to show you, just to give you an update. This is where I have mostly done pretty much always done tomatoes and peppers since I put it out a couple years ago. And as you can see, it is producing tomatoes. There's some. So these should be called sunrise. No, sorry, wrong one. This is the micro orange, I think it's called, micro orange. So I do believe they're going to be little small orange shaped tomatoes, and this whole row will be micro orange, as well as this little section down at the end of the row over here should be micro orange. So some of these plants I did just put in like yesterday, while others I planted several weeks ago, and they're starting to really get a lot taller. I want to say these are Arzumi. I don't even know how you say that. Arzumi. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I don't know if I put the little tag, but I'm pretty sure this is the row of that, whatever that is. And I do believe it's a beefsteak. That's going to be like a darker colored beefsteak, I believe, from what I researched. So anyways, they are starting to produce. And then I do have a sunrise bumblebee here. And then I think I put the sunrises down here. So the sunrise bumblebees I've never grown either, but somebody had sent them to me. And I just put those in yesterday. So these have been in for a few weeks. And these should be small, I believe smaller cherry style sized tomatoes. And so we'll see what they do. And I think the rest of the, I'm really bad at labeling. I need to get better at that. But these are probably the green or orange, and they might be just full-size tomatoes. So we'll see what happens, but they're all doing really, really well. I have not planted any peppers over here yet. There's one growing. Pretty cool. So I'm going to turn this around. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and as you can see that I don't know what's gonna happen with all my tomatoes. Pretty cool. I do have a bunch of peppers started, but they're all still fairly small. I haven't wanted to bring them out just yet. They are in the gazebo hardening off. So I have some new peppers that haven't grown before, so we'll see how that goes. Some I did grow before. I honestly will just see. So anyways, thank you again for following, for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. I tried to make it as fast as possible, but I'm a talker, so I'm not an editor yet, at least. So we'll see how that goes, but I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you for following.